Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is ChroNick and welcome to this Stronghold What We Know So Far video. I'm making this video for two reasons. The first one is to give an overview of what information we have so far and speculate a bit about it. The second reason is that until now we haven't really had many people who ask questions about Stronghold in interviews. And I had the opportunity to get some information about it in a somewhat casual conversation with Colin Johanson at the ArenaNet aftershow party at PAX South. Some of that info has already been confirmed in other interviews, but there is also some stuff that I think is still completely new. For everyone who wants to get to the new information immediately, you can now click on the annotation. So most of the information we have about Stronghold so far comes directly from the Heart of Thorns announcement. Colin mentioned that Stronghold is supposed to be an evolution of Guild Wars 1 GW2. Now the first thing that Colin mentioned in the announcement is that you fight for control of supply and you use that supply to hire troops. We have no idea so far of how you're going to get that supply. But my best guess would be that you most likely have a base rate of supply you get over time, and then additionally some other ways to get the supply, maybe via killing enemy players and maybe even killing enemy troops. The part of fight for control of supply makes me think there might be another way to get it, maybe even something like having control of a capture point that then rewards supply. But we'll have to see for more information on that. So you spend supply to hire troops, which in my mind immediately brought the idea of a kind of first-person tower defense. Because in MOBAs you just get creep wave after creep wave that spawns automatically. In Stronghold, however, you hire the creeps yourself, or, well, troops as they are called here. So with that there might be the element of timing when you hire your troops. So you can put additional pressure on the gates while you try and fight for another side objective with your players. So with the help of these troops, you will try and destroy the gates to enter the enemy stronghold. In the enemy stronghold, you will find the guild lord, and once you kill him, you win the game automatically. So that part is pretty much taken directly from GW2 in Guild Wars 1 and could also be compared to something like the Nexus in a MOBA like League of Legends. He also mentioned that along the way you will find heroes that you can win onto your side that then help you in the fight to assault the stronghold and then kill the guild lord. Last but definitely not least, he mentioned that there will be guild teams. Guild teams are teams of players that represent a specific guild and they register on the guild leaderboard. This is a feature that I have tried to lobby for I think the past 1.5 years to get into Conquest, and I'm really happy that this will finally make its way into the game. Hoping that if it has any success in Stronghold, that it might also find its way over to Conquest PvP. All the way back in November 2013, we had a little bit of a teaser about new game modes in a developer behind the scenes stream. They have also been talking about a concept they called Stronghold, and we've seen a picture, I'm going to show it in the video now, which I have to be honest, even though the idea might still be pretty much the same, I don't think that this will be the map we'll see, because we've seen a little bit in the trailer and there's been a data mining in the recent past meaning 4 months ago if I remember correctly. And that data mine I think has a very good chance of actually being the map. Let me explain why. So in an interview Colin said that they will only bring one map of Stronghold in the beginning. They really want to focus on that one map and want to make it as perfect as possible and have this one map define what Stronghold is supposed to be and show what Stronghold can be. Meaning that the little bit of a teaser we've gotten in the trailer is most likely going to be that map. Now, if we have a look at the data mined map, there are two versions. One is just the clear map and one is with a couple of signs. We have a spot for a trebuchet, We have the sign where the guild lords are supposed to be and a path where, from the information we have now, most likely the creeps or the troops you hire will walk along. So if we have a look at the one without the extra information on it, you see in the middle a little circle which, with really a lot of fantasy, could be something like a giant manhole cover, meaning I think it's most likely a river underneath. And if we have a look at the video, there is something very similar, at least if you compare them directly. I think you can see where I'm coming from. I think what we're seeing here is pretty much the middle of the map that has been data mined. So if we take this as our basis from what we're going to get with the expansion as the Stronghold map, then we can have a look at the one that has all the data of where stuff is supposed to go. We have a somewhat non-symmetrical structure, because the red guild lord is all the way to the right, and the blue one kind of goes into the middle of the map, which, if you really take a look at it, is going to be the same walking distance and has the same objectives in its sight. So even though it might not look symmetrical, just for the balance, it's most likely not going to make a difference. And this is also a data mine from quite a while back, so this might all have changed, but it's the best we've got until now. Now, we see 2 trebuchets, we see 2 most likely spawn camps where the shields are, and the path where the troops are going to walk. They will then attack the gates. We have 2 gates, or well, 3 gates on each side, and you have to get through at least 2 of them to make it to the Lord. We have some towers as well, and we'll have to see what the function of that is. If we have a look back into the middle of the map, where we saw the, for lack of a better word, giant manhole cover, then there we see a shield with a couple of squares on it. Now, in my mind, that will most likely be where we compete for either supply, but more likely these champions or heroes that we can bring to our side, possibly for limited duration, possibly for the entire game, and you get multiple of them. We'll have to see about that. But I think there will be the fight for the heroes. Now, this is pretty much all I'm able to say about this with the information we have so far, but as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I also have a couple of facts that came up in the conversation with Colin, but a little bit of a disclaimer on that one. It wasn't in like a form of an interview, I don't have anything recorded, I didn't write anything down because it was a party, we just had a bit of a conversation, and there might also be the element of my really bad memory. But I am pretty sure about this, you just have to maybe not take this as fact, but rather a bit of a hint on what announcements will probably come in the future. So with the don't take this as fact speech covered, let's get to the info. The first really interesting thing he told me that I haven't seen in any interview up until now was that guilds will most likely be able to have more than one team for Stronghold on the guild leaderboards, meaning that even big guilds won't just have to split off into other sub-guilds to get on the leaderboards. In terms of time frame, he told me that they are aiming for something along the lines of the 15 minutes we currently have in Conquest. That doesn't mean they're going to stick to it, but they definitely don't want it to be something like a 40-minute game. Something that has already been confirmed in another interview is that even though currently they are testing it for 5v5, and I think they really want it to be 5v5 just to have an easier transition from teams in Conquest over to teams in Stronghold, they are open to the idea of something like 8v8, 10v10, or maybe anything in between if it makes the Stronghold game mode feel better, if it just fits better into it than a 5v5 mode. The leaderboards that he mentioned, the guild leaderboards, they, in the beginning at least, will only come for Stronghold. So there will be no team-focused or guild-focused leaderboards for Conquest in the beginning, but he told me that if it goes well with the leaderboards, there isn't really a reason why they shouldn't just transfer that over to the Conquest game mode. So one of the probably juiciest informations I managed to get was that winning in Stronghold will contribute to your effort of expanding your guild hall. So if your guild has a team that is really good in Stronghold, then you will expand your guild hall a little bit faster. You're probably gonna have lots of ways to expand your guild hall. Something in PvE definitely, something in World v World, but I think it's pretty good to know that Stronghold will contribute to that. And some of you guilds out there might want to think about getting one of the top teams to fight for your guild or fight under the name of your guild in Stronghold. So that's already it. That was all the information I was able to get, or, well, considering my memory, all the information I think I got. And yeah, thank you for watching. My name has been ChroNick Gamer, and I'll see you next time.